Welcome back everybody to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about meditation, involuntary movements, head movements. We're going to talk about some spinning as well. I have talked about spinning while meditating on this channel before. I will link below the videos where I've talked about that because I find it a very interesting subject. But today I was just going to touch on my personal experience with head movements during meditation. So when you're in a really relaxed state, and you've kind of surrendered to the peaceful meditative state, and sometimes you'll start spinning, which I've talked about in other videos before, which my higher self advised me was stabilization mechanism. When the spinning happens, your energy field is being stabilized because you're opening yourself up during meditation. You're opening yourself up to your vast self, your multidimensional self. So when you're doing that and you're becoming very, and how you do that, how you relax into your highest self is you relax and you come into a meditative state. So which automatically just starts rising your frequency back to your default frequency, which is a high vibrational frequency. The only thing that keeps our frequency low in this physical reality is our heavy, dense, false belief systems about who we are and the world. The old emotions that we hold on to, the heavy traumas, the pains, all the things that we hold within ourselves. When we're meditating, when we're nice and relaxed, and when we open ourselves up, we kind of let that go temporarily almost, and we come into our higher vibration, our default vibration, which is actually joy, which is more connected to the highest self, the highest part of who we are. So while we're doing that, our energy field then will automatically start spinning our body, spinning our energy field. We are an energy field. We're not a body. We just look like we're a body in the mirror. But what we are is actually an energy field. So I am an energy field and I call myself Jenny. You are an energy field and you call yourself a certain thing. But we are energy. And when we are relaxed in meditation, we're opening ourselves up and we're tuning into higher frequencies. We have to be stabilized. So this is what is happening when we're spinning. But today I was going to just briefly touch on the subject of head movements. So what tends to happen with me is sometimes I'll do a certain meditation where I set the intention that I'm going to tune into my higher self. Okay, maybe I want to tune into my higher self to get an answer for something, or I just want to maybe have a higher perspective of a situation in my life. So what I find helps me is I come into a nice relaxed meditative state where I'm open, I'm at peace, I'm feeling very relaxed. And then what happens is I set the intention, so I ground myself, I drop an anchor down into the earth, and I set the intention that I'm stabilized, that I'm grounded. I may even start a gentle spin depending on what happens. And then what happens then is I set the intention to almost bring my awareness up out of my body. So I'm not physically coming up, I'm just bringing my awareness almost around the top of my head somewhere. The higher self is multidimensional, quantum, so it's everywhere all at once. Your higher self is existing everywhere all at once. And your higher self is the aspect of you that is present with every timeline of your reality, present in every lifetime that your soul has been in. So these physical incarnations are just the tool that we use to navigate the experience. But in truth, if you're open to this, you're actually, you're existing in many timelines all at once, and the higher self is scanning them all. The higher self is omnipotent and is present because it's a vast, multi-dimensional self that has transcended the whole illusion of reality, almost like a video game when you transcend all the levels and then you get to your higher self aspect. So I set the intention that I come up into that higher self just temporarily while I'm in the meditation. And what happens is what I do, the visual I use to come into my highest self is that I sort of bring my awareness up past my body as if I'm coming out of my body. I'm nice and stabilized, come out of my body, and I'm kind of hovering somewhere around the top of my head. And I visualize a mountain peak, a nice clear sky, no clouds at all, where there's no thoughts. It's just you as your higher self. Your higher self isn't bogged down with thoughts from the ego mind, from the split mind. Your higher self is pure clarity. Pure clarity, like on a mountaintop. You've got to the highest peak, you've made your way up there. That's where your higher self resides. You're sovereign, you're free, the sky is clear, the sun is out, and that is how I set the intention to get into my higher self. But interestingly, then what happens is, as soon as I'm in that state, I've got my eyes closed, I'm meditating, I've set the intention, I've got that visual in my mind is as clear as it can possibly be. And if the thoughts do come in, it doesn't matter. We don't judge them. That's the nature of the mind. Sometimes the odd thought might pop in, but as much as possible, I'm intending to tune into my higher self. And then what happens is very interesting. I don't know if any of you have had this experience before, is my head starts moving like this. So it's a very, very consistent movement. It's not anything erratic or anything like that. It's a very gentle movement. I'm not consciously doing it. My neck and my head is moving on its own. And it's as soon as I've intended to tune into my higher self. And what was interesting is when that started happening, I didn't quite know why it was happening, but I knew it was something to do with the fact that I've tuned into my higher self, that is present in all realities, present in all aspects of me, or in all lifetimes, is able to scan the bigger picture. I'm sorry if you can hear banging, by the way. We've got work going on downstairs and there's some banging, so you might not pick that up on the video, but obviously I can hear it, so apologies if you can hear that. But so what I was told not long after that by a psychic, and I don't have psychic readings very often, it was just a one-off thing where I had a very small brief reading, and this psychic medium was absolutely brilliant, really, really highly rated psychic medium. And what he said was that that I should work with a certain crystal, rhodonite I think it was, work with a certain crystal because it's going to help you to scan realities. I thought, okay, that's interesting. And the crystal, yeah, so the crystal was rhodonite. I've actually got a rhodonite pendant now that I wear when I'm doing this type of work, because I think if that helps me to scan realities, you know, I'll wear it. And interestingly, what he said is because it'll help you scan realities, and what you'll find, he said, is that your head will start scanning. Your head will start moving side to side when you're meditating or when you're working with a crystal. And I thought, yeah, that's what my head has been doing recently. When I've been coming up into my higher self frequency, my head is spinning. And actually what he's saying is, what that psychic medium through synchronicity said to me, he didn't know that that's what I was experiencing because I never mentioned it, but he must have known something, obviously, because he was psychic and he was tuning into it, is that what is happening there is, you know, you've tuned into your higher self because your higher self is always scanning. And the way that that manifests in the physical body is that the head will start moving and scanning realities. Scanning, scanning, scanning. So if the higher self was a physicalized being and it was scanning realities, the head might move. And this is what's happening. So I don't know if this happens with you. Now, I can't say that I see anything at this stage. It's something that I need to go a little bit deeper with, I think, and maybe start setting the intention that, okay, in this meditation, I'm going to tune into my higher self and I'll start scanning realities, and I'll set the intention that I tune into a specific reality that might be relevant for me right now, or might give me some information about something that I need to know. But that's interesting, isn't it? That when you're tuned in to your higher self, the head will start scanning. Now, I've got my eyes closed, can't see anything in particular. All I can see is just this mountain and this blue sky. But that's something that could be worked with. And that's something I will report back to you with. I'll try it out, and then I'll come back and I will report back to you to let you know if I tuned into anything in particular with regards to certain timelines. So try it yourself. Use the visual that I use if you like, and see if that happens. This might already happen to you, but I would say that if this does start happening to you, obviously you may get the spinning, you may get the head movement, you may well be tapping into alternate realities, and the third eye can pick those up. And it might be worth doing a little bit of work on clearing the third eye to see if you can really start seeing into these realities, scanning into these timelines. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've had this experience. I will look into it further, and I will do some more work on that, and I will come back to you and let you know. But if you like this video, obviously please subscribe to my channel, because I don't ask this enough. Please like, please share, please comment on the video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.